Do you have a brilliant startup idea but are stuck in the launching phase? Are you feeling overwhelmed by funding, marketing, or just where to start? Don't let your startup idea stay grounded. Visit our website at eapla.com to schedule a Blue Couch meeting and launch your startup journey today.
Welcome back to On The Cusp. Got my co-host Matt Snyder back with me, and we're going to really dig deep into Shreveport today. Who's our guest, Matt?
Then we have Ashwin and G from the Indian Association of Shreveport Bossier.
Yes, sir.
And this is really cool. It's dear to my heart because I think nothing hurts a community more than when cultural pockets are all in their own lane and not working together. So I'm so interested in learning what is happening in the Indian community in Shreveport Bossier. Y'all want to kind of start with that and just tell us some basis of how many people are here? What is that like?
Sure, certainly. Well, I'll tell you this. I manage the cultural part of the Indian Association of Shreveport Bossier for the last 2-ish years now. So somewhere in late 2022, Ashwin and our president at the moment, Mr. Prahlad Asher, reached out to me and said, would you like to take ownership of the cultural secretary role that we have in our organization?
You look like a culture guy, G.
I said, well, why not give it a crack? So I went ahead and did that, and it's been a wonderful 2 years. And I manage the ticket sales for all the events that we host as an organization each year. And I want to say there are a good 400 plus Indian families in this region. And I say Indian, I shouldn't quite specify it like that. There are people from India, but there are also people from what the world knows as the Indian subcontinent. There could well be people from Pakistan, there could well be people from Sri Lanka or Bangladesh, a neighboring country, Nepal. There's a very large Nepali population here in the Shreveport Bossier area.
And so what brings these families to Shreveport, of all places? Like, how does that happen?
So, I mean, initially, back in 1970s, a lot of physicians started coming over here.
Right.
So, because of the physician population growth, back in 73, they needed a place to hang out and meet with other fellow Indians and start like, they have a Diwali or some festival they want to celebrate together. So that started in 73 as a small organization back in the day, and then it grew. The main reason is to have the traditions from generations. Like my kids, they say, Dad, what's Diwali? Why do we celebrate? So explaining the history to the kids. Right. And then as a collective group, like going and celebrating with friends and family, that actually is exciting for everybody.
Right.
So we have Indian food at the Diwali functions. We have cultural like dances, music, Indian music, Bollywood, and everything like that. So we have a great time together. So that's one. We also celebrate Indian Independence Day here. We do Holi, Festival of Colors. We do a few events like that so that it kind of connects and bonds what I wish I could do, but back in India when I was doing as a kid, then I can have a chance to do it here with my kids, with my family. Because
how many of these families are coming in to Shreveport now? Like, how many new families
the influx
does your organization see in a year?
So I'll give you an example. Again, back in the day, only physicians used to come. Now we have from different sectors. I'm an architect and construction background. I'm into manufacturing now, metal architecture.
Oh, cool.
So Ganapathy is in different role.
And to answer your original question, the work brought me here. I've been in the Shreveport Bossier area with my family now, a wife and 2 children, for roughly 11 years. And work brought us here, and we've been here since then.
So where do you work? What is your work?
Oh, I work as a CI consultant or a continuous improvement consultant with a company called General Mills now. But I was with the previous employer when I first came here.
Cool.
So I've moved careers since then, but I decided to live here because it offers so many advantages for myself and my family, and we can still derive pleasure from living in the U.S. without breaking the bank, so to speak.
Right.
So Dave is always a job guy.
Yeah, I'm a job
guy. He wants to bring you here for a job.
I want you and everybody in your industry, okay, to come here, generate jobs. And the more culture and the more diverse we are in Shreveport, the better off we are and the more attractive we are.
So how has your experience living in Shreveport, Louisiana been?
It has been interesting. So when I live in Bossier City, but I consider Shreveport Bossier
it's all
one
the same.
area.
It's all the
same
For
to
this,
us.
it's all the same.
And there are people who have no idea that there is such a thing as Shreveport, Louisiana. When I tell them I reside in Louisiana, the first question they ask me is, are you in New Orleans?
That's it. Yes, sir.
In fact, I tell them I'm actually much closer to Dallas, Texas than I am to New Orleans, Louisiana.
Right.
It so happens. I'm practically in North Texas, only not. Okay, so that's how close to Dallas I am. But then the more I tell them about it, the more I tell them about what we do, especially through the Indian Association of Shreveport Bossier, and how they've given us an opportunity to bring the community from India here together and to keep our culture alive, the more jealous they get of us, because not everyone I know outside of this area has that same advantage. Now, if you're in a very large city, yes, you do.
Right.
But if you're in a mid-sized to smaller city in the U.S., not so much, not all the time.
So if you come
So
for
then
a
they
job
understand.
in a small city,
Exactly.
you came to the U.S., but you may not have that support.
You may not have that support. That's correct. You may not have the strength of the community in numbers to feel more welcome in a place that's new to you.
Right.
But Shreveport Bossier has no such problem. This organization has been around since the late 1970s, 1980s, when it was incorporated as a nonprofit organization, formally speaking. So they've done so many great things already, well before Ashwin and I ever came on board with them. So we're literally standing on the shoulders of so many giants who've done so many great things already here, and we're now reaping the benefits and doing the easy stuff to keep it going.
So when y'all came into Shreveport Bossier and you joined the organization, did you know people in the organization?
Oh yeah, we did, for a different reason. Now we also, because our children are of comparable ages and we happen to be from what's called the Hindu community from India, we have a temple that's owned by a couple, they're doctors, Mr. and Mrs. Manchandia. And so we have the good fortune of visiting that temple every Sunday. It's almost like church, except for Hindu. It's a place of worship. And we go there and we get to know all these people, and most of them participate in events that we host through the IASB. So there's a good bit of overlap there.
Okay,
but as
cool.
I said before, the IASB is a strictly secular organization. We have no interest in furthering any religious means or ends. We want everyone from that subcontinent who is here to participate in our events. We don't care which religious background they come from.
Right.
The more the merrier. We just want to celebrate and showcase.
And
culture
what
from
is
India
your
to the world.
biggest event in the year?
Diwali
is the biggest
event.
event.
And when does that occur?
It's typically in the October-November timeframe.
October-November
Yes, sir.
timeframe?
And any of these functions we have celebrate, we also have a lot of local people, friends.
Oh, yeah.
Friends come and join us.
Oh, cool.
So workplace friends, gym friends, other friends, they come and join. They have a chance to experience Indian culture.
Oh, the Indian
absolutely.
culture is so beautiful.
It's vast and it's beautiful. Yes.
I mean, like, getting the opportunity to be a part of that is such a cool
and
thing.
we invite you to come. If you haven't been familiar with it yet, we invite you to visit our webpage, which is iasbla.org. Take a look at what we host and where we host it. And I should say, it would be very bad for a forum of me not to say this, but LSUS has been a fantastic event hosting partner for us.
Oh, that
and
is
I can say
great.
that just for the last 3 years because I've attended events there. They are so cooperative in giving us their auditorium to host our events in, and they help us day to night in making sure that our events are a success. So they have a great
they're a
crew
big
there
part,
that helps us with every little thing that we can ask
That's
for. So it's
awesome.
That
fantastic.
is. That's good to hear.
Okay, so from a Shreveport Bossier standpoint, like, let's get into, like, I love the aspect of, like, you weren't from here and then you came in. What are things that are great about our area? What are things that we need to do better to welcome outsiders that are coming for a job? Like, Dave got them. We got the job. They're moving into Shreveport. What are things we need to do better at?
So that's what we are also trying to do as the Indian Association community. We have that on the website, our phone numbers, so that if somebody from outside is coming to Shreveport Bossier area, they actually contact us and say, hey, where do we live? Do we know anybody who is looking for roommates? Which is the places to go stay? What can we do over the weekends? We actually help, that's what we actually do on the side, like help them out. Okay, what kind of job, where is your workplace? Okay, you can live in this area, these are the apartments if you're moving in an apartment, or you want to buy a house. Here's the houses, and if you know any realtors, we can share the name saying that, okay, we kind of help them to get up, set up, and do something like that. That's the other intent of the organization, is people who come from outside to get helped out.
How much culture shock is there from someone moving from the Indian continent to Shreveport Bossier, Louisiana?
I would say it can range depending upon the individual, but the culture shock is largely mitigated when they see the sheer number of people from the Indian subcontinent that already reside here.
Okay.
Now, your
Yeah,
culture
that's
shock would
good.
be much worse if you were to walk into some place in the Midwest that has a mid-sized to small-sized city where there aren't that many people from the U.S. or from India, and you're coming to the U.S. for the first time. That would be a major culture shock. But when you come here, and then let's say you attend our event of colors, which is Holi, or you attend Diwali, and then you see the sheer number of people from your own hometown or from your home country, you don't have that much of a culture shock. And I feel happy that we're part of a community that can make
That's
that
really
happen for
having
newcomers.
impact.
It's
Yes,
that's right.
exactly.
That's real, and I can tell
exactly.
both of you how
Yeah.
proud of you
It's so
of
much
the
fun.
work you
Yeah,
are.
yeah.
I
It's just
love
so much
that.
fun to do.
Yeah.
That's
It's
awesome.
fun. It's fun.
Yeah. Now, what about schools? I mean, do you recommend a certain school district? I mean, you said you're in the Bossier. Are
Yes,
you in the
I'm in Bossier
Caddo?
too. Bossier.
You're in Bossier too.
Yeah, we have a vast spread of school districts. Now, I'll tell you this from personal experience, as I'm sure Ashwin can as well. When I moved here 11 years ago, my first child was only 2 years old. I hadn't had my second child yet. So obviously, we were looking for daycares. Then we moved on to looking for kindergarten, and which school district makes sense, which one doesn't. Now, in any given city, regardless of its size, regardless of its population demographics, there are always good school districts. There are always moderate to bad school districts.
Right.
I don't think anyone's going to deny that statistic.
it's-
Right?
that's-
You pick one city and tell me that they all have only good school districts. I'm going to have to see this to believe it.
Yeah,
it
I'm
just
with
doesn't
you
happen.
too. I'm with you
And
too.
if people falsely advertise or wrongly advertise, well, there are very few good school districts in Shreveport Bossier. That is not true.
That is not.
That is not true.
In the last
We do
11
a
years
terrible job
of advertising. the good stuff.
advertising
We do indeed.
that
Because
there
my
are
children
great school
have
districts.
now had the opportunity, they're 12 and 9, and they've had the opportunity to work with their peers in other school districts and participate in contests of different kinds with them. There is no dearth of quality education here. I can say that unequivocally. I've seen it, I believe it. So that's one of those things that we make clear to newcomers here, that have no fear that there is a low quality of education here. If you've heard that from someone outside of here, either they haven't spent enough time here or they're just plain out lying. Okay?
Right.
I can tell you, he can tell you from personal experience, the quality of education cannot be questioned.
And I love the Indian culture, the value they place on
Yes, sir.
education.
Oh,
Yes,
for
yes.
sure.
is
Absolutely. No
amazing. So you're very good advocates
Oh, for
when
sure.
you
That's
say
correct.
that.
Through personal experience too.
Right.
So it's not because someone's paying us to say this.
Right.
Our children are in the system, and we can
they're in
see
public
the
schools,
output.
yeah, so-
We can see the output, so we know what
Right.
they're getting.
You're probably one of the biggest advocates for the Louisiana public education system that we've had on the show. Okay,
that right? Well,
and
very good.
I'm telling you, we don't say it enough. We don't promote ourselves enough, and that hurts us.
Certainly,
Yeah,
right?
that's
I
right.
agree.
Because people can make a decision where they want to live and work. And if we can get them to accept the fact that, look, the great thing about Shreveport is it is the best small town that you're going to live in. Because we act like a small town, but we're really a big town. Okay? Because when I say Shreveport, I talk Shreveport, Bossier, the whole region. on
Yeah,
that.
if y'all could just fix all that traffic in Bossier. I had to go to Bossier this morning. I mean, that's the worst place to drive in
We'll
America.
try to deal with you. If you can clear the traffic on Uri Drive, we'll clear the traffic.
Oh, I like that.
Trust me, it's not bad. I lived in bigger cities before, and back in India too. We lived in bigger
my
cities.
See, I left
Yeah,
DC to come here. Okay, this is my home. I was working in DC, and whenever people talked to me about traffic, and I lived in Benton. I lived in Benton and drove here every day, and people would be complaining, going crazy, and I'm going, "What are you talking about?
Yeah.
It's moving."
That's right. It's not bad at all. Trust me. It's
You
not
have
bad.
no idea. what
Yeah. He doesn't know.
We've grown up
He-
in India. We know what
Yeah.
that traffic is.
You don't know what traffic is.
I've
no
seen
traffic.
some videos of
Yes,
traffic in
it
India.
is, it's bad.
That's a whole different
It's a whole
animal.
different conversation. Another podcast for another day.
Yeah, we could do a podcast on that. And of course, for us, there's no traffic. Okay,
Yeah, it's not.
you're wasting your time. What could Shreveport Bossier do to help you guys?
Learn about us. I think that's the best thing
That's
you can
awesome.
do.
Learn about us, and also-
not everyone. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish it.
Attending these events is a
Yes.
big thing. You can actually
Yes.
see firsthand what kind of events happen, like the Holi, the Festival of Colors, Diwali, and we may have some competition for kids, Rangoli, those kind of things, spreading the message, because we have a small email group or Facebook, but spreading through media like this, some other people may see it and say, okay, let's go visit the website, let's go see the events.
I agree.
Precisely.
All right.
So we
we are stronger together.
Yes,
The
we are.
coolest thing that I'm taking from this, guys, is the pride that y'all seem to have for our area, the same as I have. You know,
Yes,
like
yes.
I think
Absolutely.
people that are small-minded or just haven't thought outside of the box think
Yeah.
your pride is on the Indian continent. But you're living your life,
That's right.
raising
Home.
your children
This is
here.
home.
This is
Yes,
home for
this
us
is
now.
home.
So we want to make sure our kids learn the same thing and they actually feel proud to be here.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
That is
an
amazing.
amazing
That is exactly
message.
right.
We are the hardest on
Yeah.
ourselves. I really
I agree
believe
that.
one of
I
the
agree with
negative things about our community is
I agree with that.
You know, you talk to people and they will talk bad about Shreveport Bossier. We don't have this, and this. And you go, well, how many festivals have you been to this year?
Exactly right. Just
I
learn
can
about
say
us.
this.
Yeah.
I can say this. You can always complain or do something to make it better.
That
Make
is
it better.
right.
You're either part of the problem or part of the solution.
Right.
as
So,
long as you're
G, when
complaining,
you
you're not part
talk
of the
to
solution yet.
somebody that's talking about
Yes, sir.
moving here,
Yes, sir.
you're telling them it's going to be great.
Absolutely. Through experience, too.
Through experience,
Right.
yeah.
We offer them the chance to come meet us in person. We give our numbers freely to them when they reach out to us by email and say, come meet us. We'll show you what we've done here. We've been here for 11 years. Ashwin, you've
12
probably been
years.
here longer than that.
Oh,
a
yeah,
little longer
close to
than that.
12, yeah.
So there's nothing I'm going to tell them or show them that I haven't been a part of myself. And there's no reason for me to falsely advertise anything.
Right.
As far as the
Yeah.
output from
All
that
the
is
big
concerned. I just
industries
show
need
them
to be
as it
talking to
is,
you guys.
And there is no way I made
Yeah.
this up just for you.
Yeah.
This is what came out of 11 years of
I
being personally involved
love
in
that
something.
you guys are the age you are, and because when I was thinking about this, I was thinking physicians. I was thinking older physicians that I've known in my life.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, this is gonna be an interesting conversation. And you guys come in with the culture
Right.
and the
That's right.
spirit. I
I'll
love
tell you
it.
this, I'm sure Ashwin gets this a lot, but I get it all the time. Every
Oh,
time
I know
I'm
what you're
introducing
talking
myself to
about.
someone, they'll ask me, are you a doctor?
Yeah. Well, you see,
Because
you know,
there are
one of
so
our
many.
strengths
There
is
are so many
manufacturing.
physicians from our
Yeah,
part of
I'm
the
into
world here.
manufacturing.
Yeah, you're in manufacturing. You're in
Manufacturing,
production
yes,
and
sir.
manufacturing.
Yeah, yeah.
And people don't realize that there's a lot of manufacturing here, and there used to be a lot more.
Lot more,
Yes,
And
exactly
like
right.
we just recruited Multipack, which is a third-party bottling company, out of California to here. Nice. Okay, so and they need engineers. They need engineers that are qualified to come in
about
and
that?
redesign those.
That is
those
fantastic.
production lines.
Fantastic.
All the time, because they'll bottle anything. All right,
Guys,
it's important.
this has been like an absolute treat. Like, I did not know
us
where
as well.
this conversation was going or even what we were going to talk about. I'm so happy to know
This is refreshing.
that the culture is strong in our
Absolutely.
community.
Yes, sir. That's
And
right, yeah.
we're all on the same page. If we can ever do anything to help you,
Yeah,
we're
absolutely.
here.
Definitely. We'll keep in
Yes.
touch.
Yeah.
Man, thank y'all so much for coming.
Thank you.
And I hope a lot of
Our
people
pleasure.
This
Thank
is
you so much for
share
having
this
us.
to your
We'll share, yes.
friends and
Certainly will.
let's get this
Yeah, as soon
message
as you
out.
provide the hyperlink that takes us to the recording
Yeah,
of the
right. We
podcast,
got it,
I'll be
yeah.
sure to put it up on our website and put a plug in to thank all of you for even thinking about us.
That's awesome.
It came my way randomly by email, I'll tell you that. I just saw the email and then I sent it to him and Mr. Prahlad Asher and said, do you have any objection if we attend the podcast? And he said, no. In fact, it's great that this showed up. Please go and talk about us even more openly than
again,
That's awesome.
we're stronger together.
Yes, sir.
And the more diverse we are, and the more we celebrate each other, the better off we are.
I agree.
Thank you,
100%.
guys.
And I'm not
so
even
good.
running for public office.
Enjoy the podcast? We would love your feedback about today's show and who you think should be our next guest. Send us an email at info@eapla.com. Also, be sure to share the show and leave a comment on our social media post.